Hey, welcome to the Wounded Inner Child series where we're doing a deep dive on all of the inner child wounds. Again, it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you or broken or needs fixing. It just means that your inner child had some unmet needs, and that's okay. That's why you're here today. So today we're going to be talking about the rejection wound. Before we begin, I want for us to pause and take a deep breath in through our nose and let it out through your mouth. Part of you learned to stay quiet, agreeable, or invisible to stay safe. This isn't because you're weak or overly sensitive. It's because a younger part of you learned that being fully yourself wasn't safe. Today we're talking about the rejection wound with compassion, not judgment. So the rejection wound forms when a child experiences repeated messages, spoken or unspoken, that who they are is unacceptable. This doesn't always come from cruelty. It can look like being criticized or corrected frequently, feeling compared to sibling or peers, being misunderstood emotionally, being shamed for needs, sensitivity, or differences, or having caregivers who valued performance over presence. Energetically, the child receives the message, who I am is wrong, so the soul adapts. The inner child learns to contract, to hide, to mold themselves to what feels acceptable. And a core belief forms. If people really see me, they won't want me. Break the heart. This wound doesn't explode outward, it collapses inward. Because rejection feels existential, triggers often feel subtle but devastating. Common triggers can include criticism or feedback, feeling misunderstood, comparison or competition, being overlooked or excluded, not being chosen. When activated, the nervous system often freezes or collapses. Thoughts turn inward. What's wrong with me? I should have said something different. I don't belong here. In parenting, the rejection wound often activates shame. You might notice taking your child's emotions personally, feeling deeply wounded by defiance or disinterest, over-explaining yourself to be understood, withdrawing emotionally when feeling overwhelmed, feeling like a bad parent easily. Trigger isn't your child's behavior. It's the inner child hearing, I'm not wanted, I'm failing. So instead of staying present, the nervous system pulls back to protect itself. In relationships, the rejection wound often shows up as self-abandonment. You might hide parts of yourself, people please to be liked, avoid conflict at all costs, leave relationships before being left, feel lonely even in connection. Love becomes something to earn, not something to receive. The inner child believes, if I'm too much, I'll be rejected. If I'm quiet enough, I might belong. This wound is deeply tied to visibility, if you haven't picked up on that. In work and career, you may notice fear of being seen or heard, playing small despite your talent, avoiding leadership or speaking up, perfectionism or procrastination, a deep fear of judgment. Success can feel dangerous. Visibility feels like exposure because early on, being seen meant being criticized or dismissed. Healing the rejection wound isn't about becoming more confident or louder. It's about allowing yourself to exist without shrinking. The inner child doesn't need encouragement. They need permission. Permission to be imperfect. Permission to take up space. Permission to be seen without being evaluated. You can begin by offering this reassurance to the little girl or boy inside of you. Okay, so we're gonna close our eyes. We're gonna picture us as a child, a little boy or girl, around 4, 5, 6 years old, and take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you to tell that little child standing in front of you, you are allowed to exist exactly as you are. You don't have to perform to belong. And each time you show up as yourself without editing, you reclaim a piece of your soul. If it feels safe, place a hand on your heart and quietly repeat, I don't have to disappear to be loved. Notice any sensations. There's nothing to fix, just notice. Healing happens through presence, not pressure. I'll leave you with this question. Where in your life are you still hiding parts of yourself to avoid rejection? What would it feel like to let yourself be seen just a little more by the person you trust most? If this resonated, you're not alone. This wound is tender, and healing it is an act of profound self-love. Your sensitivity was never the problem. It was always a gift. If you found this helpful and any of this resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe for more of our Inner Child Wound series. If you need help or support through your healing journey, you can check the link in my bio on ways to work with me. As a certified spiritual healer, I'm so glad you're here. I love you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.